Hi friends, today we are going to start a very important topic of agriculture economics. Like first important topic is methods and mechanics of processing loan application. Second important topic is repayment plans. And third and most important is social control and nationalization of banks. Friends, in any agriculture exam, questions each year questions will be asked from this topic nationalization of banks. So please see this video till end. Now without wasting more time, let us start. So first is methods and mechanics of processing loan application. So while sanctioning farm loan, following are the methods or procedures which are to be followed. Like first one is interview with the farmer. Here you can see I have highlighted first point is interview with the farmer, then submission of loan application by the farmer and scrutiny of records, visit to farmers field and so on. So first point is interview with the farmer. Friends, interview is not a formality, but it facilitates the banker to study a farmer in detail and access his actual credit requirements. Bank also finds that why actually he needs the credit. So interview is very important. Now second point is submission of loan application by the farmer. Here farmer simply just submits his application of loan, and then after that uh, records are checked that if his or her records are right or false or wrong. Then fourth one is visit to the farmers field before giving loan or before sanctioning loan, because now bankers goes to farmers field and he checks there that whether why he should need the credit or loan, for what purpose he should need. Then following are the criteria for loan eligibility, like he should have good credit character and financial integrity, and his financial transactions with friends, neighbors and financial institutions like banks must be a proper, and he must have progressive outlook and receptive to adopt modern technology. Now sixth one, you can see that now a loan is sanctioned by the banker. Now after that submission of required documents like demand promissory note, that after 1 year or 2 year he will deposit the loan. Then deed of hypothecation means movable property like money, and for then deed of mortgage means immovable property like land. Then guarantee letter, installment letter and so on. So simple mortgage is followed in the case of ancestral property, and equitable mortgage in case of self-acquired property. If you have acquired the property your own by your own, then equitable mortgage is required. Now disbursement of loan or distribution of loan. So loan amount is distributed or disbursed in a phased manner, like in installments. After that post credit follow up measures, means after giving loans some steps are still taken, and then after that recovery of loans means in some installments now now father or one who has taken the loan, now he will deposit the loan to, or he will return loans to the bank. So these were the some of the methods and mechanics which are to be processed before loan application. Now coming to the second most important topic, that is repayment plans. Here you can see that how a farmer or the person who has taken the loan will return the money to bank. So there are some methods like lump sum repayment plans, or also called as straight and repayment plans, amortized, decreasing and event. And you can, there are very, now we will start reading one by one. So the repayment of term loans differs from that of short term loans. Why? Because they are characterized by their partially liquidating nature, means these loans are recovered by a not in just one installments but by a number of installments. So there are six types of repayment plans, and they are like here. First one is straight end repayment plan, or also called as single repayment plan, or also called as lump sum repayment plan. Here the entire loan amount is to be cleared off after the expiry of given or stipulated time period at a single time. Here the principal component is repaid by the borrower at a time in lump sum when the loan matures, while interest is paid each year. So simply in this we have to submit the principal amount at once, and we have to give the rate of interest each year. So this is called single repayment plan, because in this we have to deposit at single time. uh, Now coming to second, that is partial repayment plan, or also called as balloon repayment plan. Here the repayment of loan will be done partially over the years, so it is called as partial repayment plan. And this is also called balloon repayment plan. Why? Because as the large final payment made at the end of loan period after a series of smaller partial payments, means initially we have to deposit a small amount of loans. Like if we have taken the deposit loan of 1 lakh, then initially we will give only 5,000, 10,000, but in the final year we have to give at once the large amount. So this is also called as balloon repayment plan. Now third one is amortized repayment plan. What amortization means? So amortization means repayment of entire loan in a series of installments. So these are of two types: amortized decreasing repayment plans and amortized even repayment plans. So first one is amortized decreasing repayment plans. Here the principal component remains constant while the interest part decreases continuously. So it is called amortized decreasing repayment plan, because principal is constant but the rate of interest is decreasing each year. Like for example, you can see here loans advance for machinery, like for buying tractor and equipments, will fall under this category. And now coming to now, here you can see the graph also, that principal is constant whereas rate of interest is decreasing. Now amortized even repayment plan. Here annual installment over the entire loan remains the same, means the principal portion of installment increases continuously, whereas the interest component declines or decreases gradually or continuously. You can see in the graph also. Now this is the formula: I is equal to b into I by 1 minus 1 plus I minus m, where I is annual installment, b is principal amount, small n is loan period, and capital I is annual interest. Now fourth one is variable repayment plan, or also called as quasi variable repayment plans. Means in this, at times of good harvest we have to give large installment of loan, and at times of poor harvest a smaller installment is paid by the borrower. So this is called variable repayment plan or quasi variable repayment plan. Now fifth one is optional repayment plan. In this method an option is given for the borrower to make payment towards the principal amount in addition to the regular interest. And sixth and last one is reserve repayment plan or future repayment plan. Here this type of repayment is seen where there is a variability in farm income. So the farmers make advance payments of loan from the savings of previous year. Like if previous year he has saved 10,000 rupee, then he will in advance he will deposit 5,000 rupee. So this is called future repayment plan, because in this we put our plan in the future, or also called as reserve repayment plan. Now coming to the most important topic, that is social control and nationalization of banks. So here, so the first question arises that what is the need for the nationalization of banks? So because at early time, professional money lenders were the only source of credit to agriculture till 1935. They used to charge, but they used to charge very high rate of interest and also follow unethical practices while giving loans. So, with the passing of Reserve Bank of India Act 1934, District Central Cooperative Banks Act and Land Development Banks Act, agriculture credit received impetus and there were improvements in agriculture credit. So, the Reserve Bank of India, as the central bank of country, took lead in making credit available to the agriculture through these banks. But friends, the main reason this question is very important, that what is the need, what was the need for the nationalization of banks. So the most important point or answer you have to write is that before nationalization, many or large number of banks were just giving loan. They were giving very less loan to farmers, that is 1% or even less than that. So but after nationalization, now they started to give 16% loans to agriculture. So this was the main advantage of nationalization as far as agriculture is concerned. So till 14 major commercial banks were nationalized in 1969. So then the second question can be asked, that in which year the in which year and how many major commercial banks were nationalized. So 14 major commercial banks, and in the year 1969, just exact after the death of 100 years of Mahatma Gandhi. Not death, born of Mahatma Gandhi. He was born in 1869, and this nationalization was done in 1969. So in this way you can remember also. After nationalization, it was made mandatory for these banks to provide finance to agriculture, as I have said already. Now they started giving 16% loans to agriculture sector also. And here some of the facts and data you can see here, that is same point is written, that before nationalization only 1% was given, but after nationalization 16% were given. Now, social control and nationalization of banks. Here the private sector banks were under the control of a few industrialists who were not helping in achieving the basis of socio-economic objectives. And as far as our country India is concerned, so here agriculture is the main occupation and contributed 50% of GDP. So the bank credit advance to this sector was only 1% as on June 1967. But so all this situation compelled the imposition of social control over the banks in 1968. After some time, the addition of 785 new branches by the end of first half of 1969. So the directions issued by the government were ignored by many of these banks. So again, so nationalization of banks was considered as an alternative solution. The Government of India on 19th July 1969 promulgated an ordinance called as the Banking Companies Ordinance 1969. Under this act, 14 commercial banks which were having deposits of more than rupees 50 crore each were nationalized. So friends, this is very important. Here you can see the names of 14 banks. Now, what was the objectives of nationalization of banks, which was done by the former Prime Minister Srimati Indira Gandhi. So, following are the some objectives. First one was remove of control on banking business by a few industrialists. Then second is elimination of the use of bank credit or expansion of credit to priority areas which were grossly neglected, like agriculture. In agriculture they were just giving the loans of 1%, but after nationalization now 16% loans were given to agriculture sector also. Now, encouraged by the success of first spell of nationalization of banks, 6 more banks in the private sector having deposits more than 200 crore. In first time of nationalization only 50 crore, but second time banks having deposit more than 200 crore were nationalized on 15th April 1980. So after the 11 years of first nationalization, first one as you can see was on 1969, 19 July 1969, and second one was on 15th April 1980. So following are these 6 banks as you can see. So as a result of 2 spells of nationalization of banks, bank advances towards agriculture sector were 16.2% of total credit as against 1% by the end of June 1967. Now, State Bank of India and rural credit. The Imperial Bank of India was nationalized and was replaced by the SBI. The Imperial Bank of India was formed in 1921 by amalgamating the Bank of Bengal, Bank of Bombay and Bank of Madras, which is now called as Chennai. So SBI, as you also know, it is the largest commercial bank of India. Now what is the objective? So objective is to have one strong state sponsored, state partnered bank with a number of branches spread over the country. And following are these groups which come under the SBI, like you can see State Bank of Bikaner, Jaipur, Hyderabad, Indore, Patiala, Mysore, Saurashtra and Travancore. So friends, this was the last part of our agriculture economics. So if you like the video, then please share and also like as much as you can. And friends, also please comment that on which topic I should upload my next video. Up to till then, bye bye and take care.